Toastmaster, instead of going from the sublime to the ridiculous, we go from the ridiculous to the sublime. We had a great speech today, number 3 speech from Lisa Iverson. She's working right along through the manual, and this is a good example for the rest of us to just take one step at a time and work your way through it at a good pace, and that's what she's doing. The number 3 speech, Get to the Point, is supposed to have a general purpose and a specific purpose, and is also supposed to be well organized, picking up on what she learned in speech number 2, with a good opening, body, and conclusion. And I would say that the general purpose in this case, and Lisa's case, was to entertain us, and I believe that she did that very well. The specific purpose was to talk about her relationship with her grandfather and how it came back to her as a ghost, and she told us a wonderful story in the process. She started off with a leading question: do you believe in ghosts? And I wonder what she mean by that, because at first I wasn't quite sure where she was going with it, but then she worked through the history of her family and then basically focused in on her grandfather. And then I said, oh, okay, that's what it's about. He died, and he's probably the ghost, and sure enough, it turned out that he was. During the body of the speech, you had excellent descriptions of the buildings, and the one building in particular that you went through. I mean, it was just a marvelous use of words and word pictures for us to be into that same building with you. And I could envision myself just walking right through the building with you as this went on with those descriptions that you had. Your eye contact was good, and you had mentioned to me earlier that you didn't write your speech out, but you had some note outlines, and I thought that worked very well. If you used your notes, it wasn't obvious, and as a result, you were able to look around at the rest of us with good eye contact, and that was very effective. I liked your vocal variety at one point, or at the end, where you said, "Where have you been?" That's the first part. When you get to the vocal variety speech, that will be the kind of technique that you'll want to use. I thought that was done well. A couple of minor suggestions. At the conclusion, it was kind of abrupt at the end. You just sort of tied it and sat down in a big hurry. Maybe you needed a wrap-up, something like, and so that is my ghost story for you. I hope you enjoyed the trip through the building with me, or something like that, that wrapped it up and put it to bed, rather than you just kind of left and said, I'm done, I'm going back to my seat. You didn't say that, but that was the message that came across. The other thing, minor physical thing, you had your hands clasped a lot in front of you. And when you had them apart, they only got about this far before they went back together again. And this was a speech that you could have used gestures all over the place. And a couple of speeches down the line, you'll have the opportunity to practice body language and gestures. But for a number 3 speech, I thought it was excellently done, and I commend you and look forward to your next talk.